Hello and welcome back to our online English class. Today we are going to begin Unit 10, which is our final unit in this book. So go ahead and open your student's book to page 122, Free Time, Unit 10, Free Time. So page 122. Alright, so as we always do, let's take a look at the pictures and make some sentences about them. So let's describe what is happening in each of these pictures, or you can make a story after you look at all of the pictures. So go ahead and pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so we might say in picture number 1, Ricardo, Felicia, and Michelle are enjoying lunch or maybe breakfast at their home. It doesn't look like a restaurant, so again we might say Ricardo, Felicia, and Michelle are enjoying breakfast or lunch at their home. And they are probably a family because Michelle looks very young, like she could be their daughter. And in picture number 2, we see a man is on his computer, or we could say a man is looking up something online. Okay, and then in picture number 3, this is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So maybe they are planning a trip, because in picture number 4 we can see an airplane. In picture number 5, this looks like a fancy hotel because you can see the word reception here. So yeah, this is a fancy hotel. And then in picture number 6, these are campgrounds. So we can see a family camping. And there's a lake and trees. So it's a pretty nice place, and a campfire, and looks like they have a lot of good equipment, and this is a picnic bench too. Okay, so maybe this is a family, and they are looking up options for a family vacation. So let's see what they decide to do. Okay, so we're going to go to the next page, and here you can see the listening activity that we always do. So I'm going to play the audio, and as you listen, answer the questions. Who are the speakers? What are they talking about? And also complete the chart, okay? And of course, take additional notes that you think are important, because I will be asking more questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to the audio.
Unit 10, Free Time. Page 123, exercises 2A and 2B.
I'm so exhausted. I really need a vacation.
You know, my work is pretty slow right now. I can talk to my boss. Maybe he'll give me a few days off.
Oh, Ricardo, what a great idea. We haven't had a family vacation in 2 years.
Where would you like to go, Felicia?
We could go to San Francisco. Michelle's 6. She's old enough to enjoy it, don't you think?
Well, let's see if there are any deals on any of the internet travel sites. Look, if we book a flight 7 days ahead, we can get a round-trip ticket for $200.
That's not too expensive. Are there any discounts for children?
Let's see. I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad. What about hotel rates?
Not cheap. Summer is the height of the tourist season. If we stay in a nice hotel, it's going to cost at least $250 a night.
Plus the room tax, don't forget. You have to add on an extra 14% or something like that.
Right. I forgot about that. So if the three of us take this trip, and if we stay in San Francisco just 3 days, it's going to cost almost $1,200.
That's a lot to spend for just a 3-day vacation, Ricardo. Maybe we should just go camping instead.
Yeah, you're probably right. We could go to Big Bear Lake. If we do that, how much will it cost?
Well, gas will probably cost about $100. The campsite will cost about $35 a night, and then there's food. But that won't be too much if we grill hamburgers.
Michelle will probably have more fun camping, too.
I agree. So, what do you think? Should we make a reservation?
I'll reserve the campsite after I talk to my boss tomorrow.
I hope he says yes. We really need a vacation.
Okay, so I'm going to play it one more time in case you missed anything. Here we go.
Unit 10. Free time. Page 123, exercises 2A and 2B.
I'm so exhausted. I really need a vacation.
You know, my work is pretty slow right now. I can talk to my boss. Maybe he'll give me a few days off.
Oh, Ricardo, what a great idea. We haven't had a family vacation in 2 years.
Where would you like to go, Felicia?
We could go to San Francisco. Michelle's 6. She's old enough to enjoy it, don't you think?
Well, let's see if there are any deals on any of the internet travel sites. Look, if we book a flight 7 days ahead, we can get a round-trip ticket for $200.
That's not too expensive. Are there any discounts for children?
Let's see. I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad. What about hotel rates?
Not cheap. Summer is the height of the tourist season. If we stay in a nice hotel, it's going to cost at least $250 a night.
Plus the room tax, don't forget. You have to add on an extra 14% or something like that.
Right. I forgot about that. So if the three of us take this trip, and if we stay in San Francisco just 3 days, it's going to cost almost $1,200.
That's a lot to spend for just a 3-day vacation, Ricardo. Maybe we should just go camping instead.
Yeah, you're probably right. We could go to Big Bear Lake. If we do that, how much will it cost?
Well, gas will probably cost about $100. The campsite will cost about $35 a night, and then there's food. But that won't be too much if we grill hamburgers.
Michelle will probably have more fun camping, too.
I agree. So, what do you think? Should we make a reservation?
I'll reserve the campsite after I talk to my boss tomorrow.
I hope he says yes. We really need a vacation.
Okay, so let's look at the first question. Who are the speakers? Who are the speakers? Okay, so you can say Ricardo and Felicia are the speakers. Ricardo and Felicia are the speakers. And let me ask another question. What is their relationship? What is their relationship? Okay, so you can say they are husband and wife. Okay, they are husband and wife. Or you can say they are married. And then let me ask another question. So this one's pretty simple, but how old is their daughter? How old is their daughter? Okay, so you can say she is 6 years old. She is 6 years old. And then number 2, what are they talking about? Okay, so you can say they are talking about a family vacation. They are talking about a family vacation. Or you can say they are talking about taking a family vacation. They are talking about taking a family vacation. Or they are planning a family vacation. So there are several options. Okay, and then how long has it been since they took their last family vacation? How long has it been since they took their last family vacation? Okay, so you can say it has been 2 years. It has been 2 years. And you can add the rest of the question. You can say it has been 2 years since they took their last family vacation. Okay, and then now let's look at the chart. So we can see a comparison between San Francisco and camping. So these are the two options they discussed. And we can see some costs like transportation and lodging. So let's make some questions. Okay, so if they go to San Francisco, then how much will the airfare be? If they go to San Francisco, how much will the airfare be, the round-trip airfare? Okay, so we can say the airfare will be $200, or you can use this category name and you can say the airfare will be $200 per person, or the round-trip airfare will be $200 per person. Okay, and then how much is the lodging if they go to San Francisco? Okay, or how much will the lodging be if they go to San Francisco? Okay, so you can say the hotel will cost $250 per night, and the room tax will be 14%. Okay, so the hotel will cost $250 per night, and the room tax will be 14%. Okay, and then let's look at camping. So how much will gas be if they go camping? How much will gas be, or how much will gas cost if they go camping? So we can say if they go camping, gas for the car will be, or will cost $100. Okay, so gas will cost $100. And then how much will the campsite cost if they go camping? How much will the campsite cost? So we can say the campsite will cost $35 per night. Okay, the campsite will be, or will cost $35 per night. Okay, and then let me ask another question. So what else will they need to pay for other than transportation and lodging? What else will they have to pay for? Okay, so we can say they will also have to pay for food. They will have to pay for food. So usually those are the main costs for a trip: transportation, lodging, and food. So, of course, for San Francisco, they would probably eat at restaurants and maybe at the hotel. So it would cost a lot of money because they would most likely have to eat out. But for camping, they would bring hamburgers to grill. So they would be grilling instead. So let me ask a final question. Which option do they choose and why? Which option do they choose and why? Okay, so we can say they choose camping because it is cheaper and because Michelle would probably enjoy it more. Or we could say their daughter would enjoy it more, or their daughter will have more fun. So again, they choose camping because it is cheaper and their daughter would have more fun. Okay, and now one more thing. This time I want you to make a question, and the answer is after Ricardo talks to his boss. Again, the answer is after Ricardo talks to his boss. So make a question, and again, the answer is after Ricardo talks with his boss. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so you can ask, when will Ricardo reserve the campsite? Okay, when will Ricardo reserve the campsite? Okay, or you can say, of course, when will Felicia's husband reserve the campsite? Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the story. So go ahead and complete the story with the words or phrases from the box. And you can pause the video and continue when you're finished, and I will play the answers. Okay, so now I'm going to play the answers and you can follow along.
Page 123. Exercise 3A.
Felicia is exhausted. She needs a vacation. Her husband, Ricardo, says he can ask his boss for a few days off. Felicia would like to go to San Francisco. They look for special travel discounts on the internet. If they book a flight at least 7 days ahead, they can get a round-trip ticket for less than $200. On the other hand, hotel room rates will be high because summer is the most popular tourist season. Also, there is a room tax on hotel rooms in San Francisco. They figure out that a 3-day trip to San Francisco will cost almost $1,200. Felicia and her husband decide to change their plans. If they go camping, they will save a lot of money and their daughter will have more fun. Felicia's husband will reserve the campsite after he talks to his boss.
Okay, let me make a few comments about some of the phrases. Actually, let me make it one page. Okay, so these are very, some of these are very common phrases we use when we plan for a vacation. So book a flight. The word book in this case is a verb, and I'm sure you can guess what it means if you didn't know it already. So the word book means reserve. Okay, so or schedule a flight, or book a flight, or reserve a flight. Those all mean the same thing. Okay, and then days off. So when we are talking about days off, we are always talking about work. Okay, so time away from work. So if you get days off, then that means that you get those days away from work. So the word off is actually also used separately for work as well. So for example, if we ask, what time do you get off? Okay, then that actually means, what time do you get off from work? Okay, so we use it so often that you don't have to include from work because it's so common. So you can just say, hey, what time do you get off? Let's go watch a movie. So your friend might answer, I get off at 5. Okay, so get off is a very common phrase that we use for when we finish work. Okay, and I'm sure you're already aware of this, but just in case, let's look at it together. Advertisements for hotels do not include the room tax. The tax adds 7 to 16% per night to the cost of the room. And this is true for lots of things in the United States, especially regarding travel. So even for cruise ships, the cost of the cruise itself might appear to be very cheap, but often you will be paying additional costs in government fees and taxes and port taxes, port fees, and also service charges. So there are lots of fees that seem to be hidden, and that's why it's important to read everything carefully and make sure you know what you're paying for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to the next activity. We're going to look at a worksheet, so you can go to part 2 of this video, part 2.